Michiganders already making their voices heard. Statewide early voting opened on Saturday, and the Secretary of State's office says over 250,000 people voted in the first 2 days. TV5's Meredith St. Henry joins us live with more about the resounding success of this new way to handle voting here. Meredith.
Elise, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson said the weekend of early voting smashed expectations. Voters packed the polls on Saturday with 145,000 Michiganders casting their ballot on the first day of early voting, and over 250,000 voting the entire weekend. At least 12 early voting sites had more than 1,000 voters cast their ballots. In 2022, Michigan adopted an amendment that expanded voting rights, including a minimum of 9 days of in-early person voting. This is the first general election that Michigan voters have the opportunity to vote early and in person. Benson said Michiganders are beginning to come around to the idea of voting before Election Day.
In the February presidential primary, the total turnout for all 9 days of early voting was 79,000. And for the August primary, we had about 73,000 folks participate in early in-person voting. Before this weekend, the record for the highest early voting turnout in a single day was just over 11,000 voters.
Michiganders aren't just voting early, they're voting absentee as well. According to the state's absentee voting counter, over 1.5 million Michiganders have sent their ballot by mail.
And that total of 1.5 million really underscores how many citizens are engaged and actively involved in this election and eager to have their voice heard. What that means is nearly a quarter of the state's active registered voters, 24%, have already cast their ballot in this November election.
You can cast your early vote through Sunday, November 3rd. Keep in mind your early voting site may be different from your normal polling location. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Meredith. And if you haven't registered to vote, you still have until 8 o'clock on election night to do so, to vote in person. If you are in line by 8 o'clock, you still have a chance to cast your ballot.